Oh my god, guess what? So I just opened up my favorite blog, and guess what's the first thing I see on it?
Now the story of two cousins studying abroad, and the one vlog that had no choice but to keep them all together. It's Cousinhood 2.0.
Today, we're going to talk about the difference between us and Nerdfighters. Now you got us, you got Nerdfighters. On paper, we're just about the same. Now the problem with specifying the difference between us and Nerdfighters is that I can point out examples of Nerdfighters, but I can't exactly say why they're Nerdfighters when their peers who are very similar are not. I mean, I'm very similar to a Nerdfighter, but I'm not a Nerdfighter because I would never refer to myself as being made of awesome. Just the way it's phrased, the cutesy, funny, retardedness that they revel in, just, ugh. I love talking about politics and Harry Potter, but I'm never gonna phrase it the way you guys do. So the thing about the difference is that we are essentially intellectual fangirls. The intellectual fangirl is able to hold their own on politics, be very socially aware, politically aware, be very literary, creative, be very analytical, be able to hold on in intelligent conversation. At the same time, we are ridiculously obsessive about Gossip Girl, Harry Potter, Star Trek to a certain extent, but our obsessions we treat totally different from Nerdfighters because they are obsessed with it, but they don't realize that it's retarded. I realize the retardedness of Harry Potter, yet I also revel in my obsession. They think it's great. Same with Twilight. They're like, oh my gosh, Twilight, I love you. I'm like, this is crap. On paper, Nerdfighters and intellectual fangirls are very similar. Number one, we are both, arguably, human. We both wear some form of nerdy glasses, whether they be writing style, hipster style John Green glasses, or Nerdfighter plastic rim square glasses of squares. They're nerd glasses. Or even just the old Harry Potter glasses. We both wear some very casual clothing or hipster style ironic t-shirts, but not quite to that extreme. By which I mean Nerdfighter fangirl t-shirts. Jeans are a staple of any normal human being's wardrobe. Nevertheless, we might also wear some sort of popular sneaker like Converse, but make it artsy. Now, whereas Nerdfighters might have very short haircuts, our hair, or specifically my hair, is going to be something I don't really care about, so I just keep it long and gross. Whereas Nerdfighters are very peppy and happy and enthusiastic about everything, we tend to be more negative and critical about things. Now furthermore, we're interested in many of the same things. The way we approach these topics is very different. Nerdfighters are into Harry Potter. They love it, they worship it, they love the main character, and they love the storyline. We hate the storyline, we hate the main character, we criticize the way it's written, and we read it incessantly. Catcher in the Rye. They love Salinger and they think it's a great story, but they don't understand it. They just don't. Trust me. We understand Holden's pain. We are Holdens. We can get inside his head because we are. Now I know you're going to say everyone is to a certain extent, but not like us. They're into politics, global warming, but they don't want to be too negative. They don't want to make McCain attack ads on people, whereas we do. Negative is what we live for. They're into literature, they like reading, but the only criticism they're able to make is that books are awesome. In general. We're into literature, I'm into art a bit, and we've studied it a lot. We like making intelligent commentary on it. They're into Star Trek, but they're the type of people who think that Picard is better than Kirk. Enough said. We're both into school, but they like doing homework. We like learning. Our differences in attitude are many, including the Nerdfighters are straight edge, positive, uncritical, peppy, and friendly, whereas we, the intellectual fangirls, are deviant, negative, highly critical, unenthused, and introverted. Very negative qualities, you might say. So why do I call these kids straight edge? Well, they revel in their straight edge-ness. They love obeying the rules, doing their homework, you know, not screwing up in life, and more or less not living. We are the rejects of the rejects over here. We love, you know, doing the thing that will piss you off. The Nerdfighters are overwhelmingly positive. You know, everything is great. Everything is awesome. They just lead awesome lives, and, you know, they make everything so happy. You know, the world is great. They're going to decrease world suck, and the way they talk is so cutesy and disgusting. And we are highly negative. You know, we love things, but we just incessantly criticize them, which leads us into our next point. They are very uncritical. When they talk about a book, they say, it's awesome, they liked it. You know, very subjective things, but not that all literature isn't subjective, but you know what I'm saying. And we are highly critical, and that is both a positive and a negative quality. We'll criticize Harry Potter to the death of us, but love it. And at the same time, we'll criticize a work of literature and analyze it effectively. The Nerdfighters, overwhelmingly peppy. You know, the epitome of Nerdfighters. You got Hank and Christina. I'd say that those are the... I mean, of course, Nerdfighters come in all different shapes and sizes. Their spots are different colors. Whereas, we are pretty much unenthused, as you can tell by our overwhelmingly dry, uninteresting videos. The Nerdfighters are friendly, you know, open, yay, everything's great, be our friend. You know, their whole thing is inclusion, trying to get everyone together and make everyone feel like a part of things. We're very introverted, we don't like people, we don't like talking to people, we just want to exclude everyone. And the biggest difference between us is that the Nerdfighters are nice, whereas we are mean.
God, see, at least me and Regina George know we're mean. You try to act like you're so innocent.
But because of their straight edgeness, they are very anti-substance, and that has always really irked me. So I'll get more into that on Thursday, so look forward to that on Thursday.
I'll tell you why, because you are a mean girl. You're a bitch.
Oh, and Hank and John these days, do they realize they're hanging around with 19-year-old girls? Because, honey, I'm a 20-year-old. Yeah, and you're not. You're married. I mean, I don't know when you're going to start punching out the babies, but it's going to be soon. And yet you are able to relate to each other because you both groups act like you're 12 years old and back in middle school. But a middle school run by the unpopular kids who band together simply due to the fact that they're unpopular, not that they have much in common other than that they're extremely annoying.
We both have shiny, happy fits of rage. You want more fans, I want more stage. I don't see what anyone can see in anyone else but gone.